Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna talk about this. This thing right here is the Cinepeer Weebill 3E. But first things first, I just want to mention that Zhiyun didn't send this for me to review. I won this fair and square when it was launched, and as usual the opinions in this video are going to be my honest opinions. Now let's get it started. Obviously, there are a lot of videos with the Weebill 3 on the internet, but this is not going to be another unboxing type of video. This is going to be more of a 6 months later type of video. And that's why I didn't want to come with a review when this thing launched, because I wanted to actually use it and put it through its paces. So that's why we are here today. So now let's talk a bit about the Weebill 3. So first things first, as you can see, this is really small, so I love the small form factor. But besides this, I really love the ergonomics. So prior to the Weebill 3E, I had the Weebill S, and I don't know why that gimbal, even though it was a great gimbal, I don't know why I always felt that it was hard to use because of the ergonomics. So on the Weebill 3 over here, the handle stays really good in your hand, and I think this was made with like right-handed people in mind, and I'm a right-handed guy. And I really love the fact that right here next to the handle, you have the joystick, you have the modes button, and you have the record button. So everything that you're going to actually use a lot are right there in a finger's reach. The next thing that you're going to see on the handle over here is this USB-C slot, and the thing that I love the most about this is the fact that this thing supports power delivery. So besides the fact that you can charge the gimbal in 2 hours through the USB-C with quick charge, like I said, this supports power delivery as well. So let's say the internal battery that lasts you 16 hours is not enough for you, you can always add the power bank and you can film with the Weebill 3 for like, let's say 24 hours. Now, on the handle over here, you're going to see this display. This thing is not a touchscreen, but I don't really mind that it's not a touchscreen. Maybe sometimes it would have been great to have a touchscreen to like scroll through the options like really fast, but in the same time I think touchscreens are a bit distracting, and when you have a lot of options to like scroll and push and stuff like that, I think it gets away from the fact that you actually want to use that piece of gear and shoot with it. In front of the gimbal you have the trigger button over here and this wheel that is customizable, so you can choose what this does. And underneath the handle over here we have 3/4 inch mounts. These are here so you can add that extendable slingshot that you need to buy separately, or if you want to add the small tripod that comes in the box with the gimbal. The next thing that I love about the Weebill 3E and always comes in handy is the fact that this thing comes with a vertical mode. With vertical content sticking and being more and more present in our day and age, we as creators, we don't really want to think a lot on how we want to shoot something, and we want to concentrate on creating stuff. So having something like this is a game changer. So let me show you how that works. Over here you have this handle that locks this whole plate where your camera is going to be, and over here you have a button that you need to push. So then you're going to unlock this whole thing, you're going to slide it, and then you're going to press this, and this whole plate is going to be off with your camera on it. You're gonna have this part over here, and you're gonna have this like rotating wheel. So all that you need to do, you need to put this over here, and then to lock it in place in the vertical mode, you just need to tighten this down. So right now your camera is going to be mounted over here, and you can shoot vertically. So that's a real game changer, because usually the gimbals didn't have this mode and it was a real hassle to mount a camera vertically when you wanted to shoot something. And last but not least, the thing that I love the most about the Weebill 3E is the fact that this thing can handle a full frame camera with a cage on it, a microphone, a 24-70 f2.8 lens, and an ND filter in front of that easily. So the fact that this little thing, because as you can see this thing is not that big, so for something this small to have that type of power and to handle that type of setup is a win in my book, because I can use this on client work, on personal projects with different setups, and I can even take this with me like as a travel gimbal, because I know it's marketed as a travel gimbal, because look how small it is when it's like folded. You can even like put this in your backpack and you're going to forget that it's actually there. And I don't need to think that I need something bigger for like other types of setups, because this is going to handle a lot of things. Alright, so in the past 6 months I used the Weebill 3E for a lot of different things. I used it for fashion shoots, I used it for weddings, I used it for real estate, I used it for a lot of vertical content, and I was really impressed with it when I had to shoot something that was really fast paced. Because I had to shoot some drifting cars, and in some instances I had to walk faster, I had to run, and this thing handled that full frame setup that I was talking about like a champ. So for $249, this thing is a no-brainer. This is a steal because you're getting a lot in this package. You're gonna get a reliable and easy to use piece of gear. You're going to get a piece of gear that is well made, and you're going to get something that is compact and lightweight and is not going to be a hassle to carry around or use, and you can take it with you wherever you go. Now, that being said, there are some things that I don't like about this gimbal. So the first thing that I don't like about the Weebill 3E or Zhiyun gimbals in general is this thing right here. So this is the plate that comes with the gimbal, and this is the plate where you have to like attach your camera. But this thing is not coming with an Arca Swiss like mount over here, so you can slide your camera on this plate. For example, on all my cameras I have cages, and all my cages are Arca Swiss, as you can very well see over here. So it's really easy for me to use this camera or another camera with this type of cage on it to like just slide it like that on a gimbal or on a tripod. So this is the first thing that I hate about this gimbal, because it doesn't come with that. So I had to come with a workaround, and I found this Falcam F38 plate that I mounted over here, and then on my camera I'm going to like put another plate over here, and that thing is going to slide right in over here on the gimbal. So even though I'm gonna have that plate on this camera cage over here or on another camera cage, I still need another Falcam accessory to mount this whole thing on a tripod. So that's a bit annoying, but I'm going to find a workaround at some point. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I don't like about the Weebill 3E is this thing over here. Even though I like the color scheme and some of the materials, I don't like the coating that they used on the arms over here. I don't know exactly what they used, but sometimes it's really hard to slide this whole plate with the camera on it and then take it off and then put it like in the vertical mode over here. So that's annoying as well, but I think that's going to be better with time after I'm going to use this gimbal even more. And last but not least, the third thing that I don't like about the Weebill 3E is the fact that when you want to like scroll through the menu, you need to use this wheel over here. But what's actually most annoying than that is the fact that when you want to like, let's say, select a setting in the menu, you need to press on this button. So that's not really intuitive. So even though I said that sometimes touchscreens are distracting, maybe in this case it would have been better to have a touchscreen over here, because most of the time, and in 2024, people are thinking that when they see a touchscreen they can like scroll through something and then select a setting. But maybe I'm too nitpicky, because after a while and after you're using the gimbal a lot, you're gonna get over it and you're going to use the wheel over here, and it's going to feel like a reflex to press on the wheel to select a different setting in the menu. Alright, so let's do a small recap. If you're just starting out, or if you're a professional and you don't want to break the bank, but you're in the market for a new gimbal and you want something that is small, lightweight, compact, reliable and easy to use, check out the Weebill 3E. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. And that being said, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the Weebill 3E, you can leave them in the comments down below, and I'm going to see you in the next one.